number of sightings. They're far greater than have been publicly disclosed before. I think there's been some leaking that there may be as many as 100. I'm not going to dispute that number. But what's more important, Trey, is that the number of sightings and recordings that have been picked up by what we call multiple sensors, that is visual, radar, ISR, satellite. And when you have multiple sensors under conditions where we see UAPs, it explains away a lot of the things like visual disturbances or things like that. When it comes to national security, ego can't be involved. If there's something out there that's bigger or faster and stronger, we've really got to answer that question. And so having a discussion about it is going to be a good thing.
Those Russian and Chinese technology?
Absolutely not. And when the UAP task force report came out, it was actually beautifully written, and in this sense, it's the sense that what it said and what it didn't say.
Oh yeah,
but but it was very apparent to me when I read it, reading between the lines, and I actually think I know one of the persons who actually wrote that finished product, and it was written by a pretty sharp guy. And basically, what they were saying is, these are the possibilities, but the other, that other thing, where it could be something totally different. I studied, worked on figuring out what the Chinese and the Russians and everybody else had, in their arsenal of high technology. Nothing is even close to this. Nothing. And when you witness these things and you see these things, and I know Lou, is always very careful about what he says and what he can't say. But I was privy to some of this stuff. And I can tell you there's absolutely no way on God's green earth that these things are terrestrial or belong to a government. They are other world or other dimension or other something, but they are definitely not ours, and they are not Chinese, and they are not Russian. And everybody in the government knows that, I might add.
What do you think is the most likely hypothesis?
I don't know. When people talk about it, is there other life besides what's in the States, in the world, the globe? Life is defined in many different ways. I think it's a bit presumptuous, if not arrogant, for us to believe that there's no other form of life anywhere in the entire universe. What that might, be is, I think, subject to, a lot of different views. But I think some of the phenomena we might be seeing continues to be unexplained, and might in fact be some type of phenomenon that is the result of something that we don't yet understand, and that could involve some type of activity that some might say constitutes a different form of life.
We were pretty sure we weren't going to be able to characterize every single one of these reports in the various categories that we'd identified because, frankly, we were not able to understand everything about it. And a large portion of that is based on the fact that we don't have a consistent way of reporting this information. We need to integrate, frankly, a lot of data that we get. We need to get better at collecting information that's useful to us from different sensors that are available to us, and we have to deepen our analysis in these areas, and that's something that, frankly, probably also doesn't surprise you in the sense that that's how we typically approach our intelligence work. And the main issues that Congress and others have been concerned about are basically safety of flight concerns and counterintelligence issues, but of course there's always the question of, is there something else that we simply do not understand that might come extraterrestrially?